time has come, the Walrus said, to talk of many things. A request to fully express your work has finally arrived. Time to move from the head and into the heart. Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you guys so much for joining me here, and welcome to my table. If you're new here, hello, my name is Zachary. It's nice to meet you. If you're returning, it's good to see you guys again. Pull up a chair, my friends. I did save you a seat. So, I have another reading here for you guys. Some message had come through in meditation, so we'll get into that. A couple oracle cards were pulled, and we'll get into tarot as we do. A couple of announcements before we dive right on in. I do have some manifestation workshops that I'm now offering. The dates are going to be in the link that's attached to the description of this video. I'll also have it as a pinned comment here. You can check out my website for the dates there. Basically every Saturday, okay? If it's not available, that means it is booked out. You can check for another day, all right? I am launching my mentorship program as well. I'm only taking 2 to 3 mentors at this time, so I am open for one more. If you guys want to take a look, there's a link also in the description of this video. I'll have it available on my website to pre-apply. Readings are open and available personally if you want to check out my website there too, okay? And as always, PayPal is in the description. If you guys feel called to donate to the channel, I truly appreciate the support to those who do. All right, let's get into it. Unicorn, my unicorn friends, look at you. Unicorn is what came through initially here in meditation. So when I think of a unicorn, I think of unique, something that is different, much different than the rest. Maybe so different that it's not even around anymore, right? The next thing that I was shown was this concept of leading from the front rather than leading from behind, okay? Using with this unicorn or unique nature coming through, there's a request here to lead, to let yourself lead rather than letting your unique nature or your talents lead, to be expressed before you come in, right? If you've seen any of my galactic royalty readings, we've been talking a lot about a healthy balance of ego. And this feels kind of along that line. It could be, maybe you need a little more ego, maybe you need a little bit less. Having a healthy relationship with that, it does feel a little bit different. So we'll get into this a little bit further. Oh, and I also have memberships open, you guys. Memberships, hello members. If you guys are interested in like extended readings and that sort of thing, that's the 3rd tier of membership. You can check that out here. Join button next to the subscribe. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Like, share, subscribe. I love you, okay? All right, let's get into this here. The first thing that I was given was Obadiah. So I pulled out, Obadiah is in the White Light Oracle deck here. So I pulled this out to see what it was that needed to be seen. So I'll show the camera up front here, Obadiah. And then I am going to read just a little bit of a description here from the book, and we'll move forward. Do not turn away from your path, nor from what you know in your heart to be true. No matter what appears to be, nor what logic may dictate, trust what your heart is telling you. You are safe and protected by spirit. You are spiritually empowered with all you need to manifest your authentic soul path. You have what it takes to connect with the light and live that connection in practical ways, which contribute positive energy in our human collective. Love this. Love, love, love. So as this goes a little bit further here, it's talking about allowing ourselves to listen to the call of what spirit has to say rather than maybe thinking ourselves too independent or feisty or prepared to do something on our own. None of those qualities need to be dampened or taken away from this experience. What is being requested is to open the heart. So in the first part of this message, we're moving from the head into the heart. The next thing that came through here was a couple colors, or were a couple colors and numbers. So I'm going to rattle these off here. Blue. Blue is one that's been coming through quite a bit. And I know that this can be attached to things like Archangel Michael, the blue ray. Blue is a very highly spiritual number. Lime green was another one that came through. And I was like I'm like, is this chartreuse? Is it a key lime green? Nope, just lime green, okay? I'd love to hear you guys as well. Whatever you think that these may have something to do with, I'd love to read your comments and become enlightened myself. Because a lot of the times I don't necessarily always know what these numbers or colors or symbols are that come through. So I love your contributions too. Love to know what you think lime green has to do with here. A few numbers that came through this time too, and this is interesting. 17, so this could be an age. 87, this could be an age, it could be a year as well. 94, could also be a year. And then 06. It was interesting because it wasn't just shown to me as a 6. It was a 0 and a 6. So I kind of feel like this is like 2006, like '06. A date, okay? This could be a date you were born, could be a date you had a major milestone, graduation, etc. Got married, right? Okay. All right, let's get into this a little bit further here. So the next thing that came through was in the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck. I was told to pull one card here, and then one here from the Talisman Oracle, but we'll pull that here in a second. So the reddening is what came through. The reddening. Interesting. The snake. These snakes have been so many snakes, you guys, coming through here recently. Lots of eggs, lots of snakes. I can make damn frittata at this point with all the eggs coming through. But the snake as well. And there's been a lot of like dragon, reptilian, snake imagery that's come through in personal meditation for me as well. So the reddening, this is life force, kundalini energy, and blood, life force energy, right? The book talks about paying attention to see if there is any other kind of red color throughout the reading. So we'll see, 619 on the timer, what comes through if there is a little bit more red. This activating component of this card. This is where this quality of getting ready to fully express the work comes in. We're moving from, and this card talks about as well, the head more fully into the body, and more specifically, the heart. The heart, you guys. Lots of messages coming through with this. All right, let's get into this a little bit further. My friends, I do want to pull a Talisman Oracle here. Spirit, for the message. What's going on? What do we have for the collective? Grounding. Totally. So, growth of energy too. Hey, can add those eggs to the pile. I love this. When growth of energy comes through, we're talking about magnifying some energy for the sake of creating something specifically. Ooh, I love this. Okay. Grounding. Grounding coming through here. And we're talking about moving a little bit more from the head into the body or the heart. This is kind of what I feel here. And that imagery of letting yourself lead rather than what you know or what you do. Something that is connected to a quality of the ego. And I'm not condemning the ego. We need the ego. I'm not saying that. But the ego needs to have a who, what, where, when, why, and how. When somebody asks you the question, who are you? When you start going through the list of, my name is this, this is my gender, these are colors I like, this is what I do for work, this is where I went to school. These are all components of identity, and they are all components of the ego. I'm not saying that they're bad, but we are being asked here to kind of step away from that being a sole driving force here as we're moving into, with reddening, more fully expressing whatever this work is, and we'll get into this a little further. We're being asked here to ground more into a true essence. Not that we're getting rid of the ego, like I said, okay? But we need to be able to switch that on and off. We do need the ego to navigate this realm, to connect with others. We do need an identity and a personality to connect with other people. And we also need to be able to put that hat away if we need to, okay? And it feels like right now, especially with Obadiah, this is the Latin root for obedience. So when you think of obedience, what kind of comes to mind here for me is a little bit of like prickle on the edge of the skin. Is this something that makes you feel like you need to cloister up? Do you feel defensive? Somebody's asking you to be obedient. What comes to mind when you think of obedience? I'd love to hear that in the comments too. I feel like there may be a little bit of an issue for some of us when we're talking about that. Like, not today, I'm going to do whatever I want. And that's kind of the component that's coming through here is you can still do whatever you want. And I mean, you can choose not to listen to this message either. But you're being asked here to tap a little bit more into spirit. So it's not like a full humility, but also, like I said, taking off that hat of the identity. It's okay for that to not be the leading force right now. You can always put it back on. You can always put the hat back on, okay? All right, so let's get into this a little bit further here. Oh, snake here at the bottom as well. Love this. So many snakes, so many snakes. When the snake comes through here, this is a great creative force as well, spiritually creative force. I like this imagery because there are, it's black and white on the outside, then very colorful on the inside, with the seed of life, tree of life imagery here. There's a note of kind of like time's up. And I had a collective reading in the Galactic Royalty that was time's up, time's up. I'll try to remember to post it at the end of this if you want to take a look at it. So there's a need to get going on something, okay? The time has come. Like I said at the beginning, time has come, the Walrus said, to talk of many things. All right, Spirit, what do we have here regarding the path right now for this individual? And this is a general reading, you guys, so please keep that in mind. You're extremely intelligent. Please use your head, heart, and intuition to decipher if this message is for you. And if it's not, please leave it behind. All right. The fish. Les poissons, les poissons. Oh, I love les poissons. And the sea serpent as well. Why not? Because why not? Let's throw another snake in there. This is the sacral chakra. Creation, creativity. And we're talking about this right now too. The fish. When the fish comes through here, love it first of all, because we just had that nodal shift into Pisces. Okay, right? When this comes through, so the path that we're on right now is a path of going with the flow. The thing about going with the flow, when we're talking about Pisces energy in the light, very intuitive, very in tune spiritually. They're able to navigate and know which river it is that they're needing to navigate in order to get to where it is their intuition is telling them to go. On the shadow side of this experience, we can fall into things like escapism and things like the identity or the ego can also become an escapist behavior, an addiction, just like many other things. So I love this. With this coming on the path here, we have a new moon in Pisces. I'm filming this on the 26th. We have a new moon in Pisces on the 27th. If you're a part of the Phoenix Fam newsletter, I do send out new moon and full moon details, what's going on for each of the signs as well, for career, relationship, and then also little rituals. If you want to join that newsletter, there's a link at the top of my page too. And I do still have my 30,000 subscriber contest going on to give away 2 free readings. There's details in this reading too if you want to check that out. So we're talking about flow right now, you guys. What's blocking this energy here? 12:21 on the timer. What's blocking this energy for this individual? The earthworm. Oh my gosh, totally. Okay. And the cobra. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. So many snakes. The cobra is an energy of when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So we're talking about moving from the head into the heart. The time has come, the Walrus said. Are you ready? Are you ready to hear this message, this instruction that's coming forward? I feel like you certainly can be if you're not there right now. If you're getting lost in something where the ego is telling you, so earthworm will get here. Like with the earthworm coming through, this is a newbie energy. And this is the energy that's blocking this. Not a newbis, but a newbie. We all have to start somewhere. We look at people who have accomplished great things or masters in their field, etc. They started somewhere. They all started as the earthworm. So right now, it feels actually very much. There's an experience in this physical realm of the ego that is blocking our ability to tap in properly here with the fish to know which of those water slides it is that we need to take in order to get to the destination we're feeling we need to go intuitively, or to even tap into that intuition to start. And I've been saying since last year, like October last year here, coming up into March, and here we go, you guys, we're coming up into eclipse season. There's some sort of major thing that's happening. I feel like it is a sort of merging as we're getting to portal season there. I'm talking about going with the flow here. First of all, we need to know where it is we're wanting to go, where we're being asked to go, so that we can start heading off in that direction. With earthworm coming through blocking this, we're being asked to put that hat away for just a second with the ego and tap into what it is that the heart is saying. This is totally that Piscean energy. So we're probably in one of two camps where we're with this flow and we're all right, let's do it, you know, or we're escaping into something else. Food, sex, rock and roll, right? Drugs, other addictions, that sort of thing. Relationships, pornography. We can be addicted to anything. Our own emotions, right? Our own trauma, okay? I would encourage you to meditate on this to figure out yourself personally. Where are you in these camps? What is needed at this time for this energy? And then we'll get into some tarot. Exciting. I love this as we're coming up to this. Tarantula. Tarantula. Interesting that this came through in reverse as well. And the lizard. So many reptiles. So many reptiles. Creativity and protection as well coming through here. That was in Obadiah. A reminder that you are being protected. It's okay to tap into spirit. Maybe it's okay to let go of some of those things, either with the identity that we feel that we need to wear as armor, or what we're expressing as far as escapism goes. It's okay to let that go. So, tarantula, the tarantula. With this coming in reverse, this is interesting. The tarantula is waiting, ever patient. It's waiting to strike. It knows that we're going to make the correct decision here. And I put this in quotes because, well, right and wrong are human constructs, right? This is talking about this flow. So what is needed here is to get to the point where we're ready to make this decision. Being in reverse here, this is like halted or blocked, kind of along with that earthworm energy. We need to allow ourselves to be new, to be fresh at something, to learn something new. Nobody knows everything, right? Nobody. I know I got a few viewers or subscribers who may think they do, but we all have room to learn something new because we're all human here. Last time I checked, okay? Even if you're something else, you're still some sort of carbon-based life form, right? Well, I mean, or anything else. I'm sure, yeah, we'll move on here. It's okay to learn something new is what I'm trying to say. All right, where are we going here with tarot, please, Spirit? You want to do light seers? All right, one of my favorite decks. Let's do it. I want to know here. I want to know. Ace of Pentacles here at the split. So anything that's possible here in the physical realm. This is a seed. It's growing these roots here. Something that we plant. Whatever decision we make to take the water slide to get to where we want to go. Let's find out here. I want to know a little bit more about this Obadiah and this message. What is being communicated here that needs to be done? Besides fully expressing this work, what needs to be done here? What is it time for? It's hammer time. God. Eight of Pentacles here at the bottom too. I love that this card has the phases of the moon. We're talking about coming into new moon Pisces tomorrow. All these are timeless, but this is the current energy here. This is work, you guys. This is the passion that we put into our work. There is a difference between what we're feeling passion-wise, the Meraki that we feel to put into our work, and letting ego drive. And this is what I'm getting from the meditation there with the unicorn, and letting yourself lead. Yourself is your heart. Yourself is not your head, or what you've done, or what you've accomplished, or where you've been. Those are all things that are perfectly fine to have as an experience. But if we're finding that those are our main talking points when we are doing anything or speaking with people, we're missing out on the most important connection, which is our passion. Okay? The Tower coming through here as the message. Burn it down. 1818 on the timer. It's time for an upheaval. I'm drawn back here to the earthworm energy that's blocked here. This feels like something that we can try to resist, but we can't resist the Tower. Just like death, the Tower comes for us all. In fact, when we try to ignore death, when it's time for something to come to an end, to transform and transition, we may be able to buffer a little bit of time between when something is due, right, to be done, and when the Tower hits. But there is a point where there is an expiry. There's an expiration date on everything. And this is what this is feeling. This message has been coming through for quite some time. It's time to, ooh, and there's a nice butterfly on there too. I know this may seem nuts, right? But it's time to transform. With the squirrel imagery on here as well, the Tower's not all doom and gloom. It is a massive implication, but there's an illumination that comes with it. There's a form of freedom that comes with it. The squirrel to me signifies fun, having fun, being a little squirrely, right? We're having fun here. This, whatever this is, these breaking of the chains that's coming through here. The story, not allowing ourselves to be new, not making this decision here to take the flow that's taking us where we need to go. That has been restrictive up until this point. This could be a job, could be a relationship. It could be a lifestyle choice, right? Food, the way we eat, the way that we do or don't exercise or meditate or don't, okay? The way we treat ourselves mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. It's time to change. Make that change, okay? Man in the mirror. What else here on this tower? What's going on here? Feeling very musical today. Not the middle one. And the bottom, okay. Ooh, yep. Yep. So the star and Four of Pentacles come through. So the star, this is Aquarius to start. The age of Aquarius is what we're in right now. Speaking of major upheavals, Aquarius is a sign, it is a freedom-loving sign. They're not going to be held back by chains like we're talking about here with the tower. So we're being asked here to move into let that light of the star, our inspiration, our dreams is what I'm getting. What we choose to believe is what will guide us, right? This is why we're being asked to put the hat of the ego aside for just a moment, because that can cloud what it is that the heart is saying. We're not totally shutting the brain off. That's not what I'm saying. But we are North Node Pisces, baby. We are going with the flow. Finding the right one is the important part. The mind has a flow and the heart has a flow. And right now, the heart is clearing its throat. It's about to say something, okay? With Four of Pentacles coming through here as well, this is our safety and security. There can be an action of clinging to safety or security. So this is telling me that whatever is being torn asunder here, is being ripped apart, is probably not going to be very comfortable. Something that has provided a form of safety or security. For most of us, I feel like this is the ego identity itself. Clinging to that, not allowing ourselves to be new, to learn something new about ourselves. It's easy to see where it is that we've been. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. Keep those trophies, right? Keep that trophy shelf if that's what works for you. That's not what I'm saying, to get rid of any of that. But to also be open to what is next or what can be possible outside of what it is that you've already done. If we keep telling the same story, we don't allow the new story to come through. And this is kind of what I'm feeling here. A fairy tale. Ooh, some chills on that. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? This fairy tale? What is this? This fairy tale? Four of Swords. Interesting. I'm getting kind of like, so Four of Swords is resting, a need to rest. Can be like licking the wounds instead of fully resting, but it's healing the heart, carving out space to heal the heart. The imagery that I'm getting here is actually Maleficent, like when she turns into this dragon especially. I really liked when Disney came out with the newer Maleficents with Angelina Jolie, telling her tale in a way that was, it was so beautiful, right? It was so beautiful. Instead of her being the evil character, she was, well, just like all of us, way more dynamic than that, right? There was way more to her story. What this feels like is that kind of resting behavior. Like that's what happened to her. She had something absolutely foul happen to her. And that happens to us as well. And I'm not saying that any of that is okay. There is a difference, though, between holding what has happened to us, licking our wounds in that way, not allowing something new to come through or to heal, to truly heal, and moving forward with letting like love heal us. And that's what happened to her as well. She let Beastie heal her. Obviously, there's a second movie and other things go on, but this is kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. We're at that event horizon here, making that decision to heal or to not. What is, what I want to know is talk to me about this healing. What do we need to know here about this healing? You want a crow, okay. Urban Crow Oracle here. Talk to me about this healing, please. Waterproof and gifts, yes. Why not? Why not? So gifts here. I'm gonna kind of use this camera a little bit more. I feel when this comes through, we're talking about spiritual gifts, and what better time? Right on time here with the Pisces energy that's coming through, that watery Pisces and waterproof. what is laying on the other side of managing this trauma, whatever it is our ego has been saying we need to hold on to. What comes to mind is this experience, and I'll speak frankly because it's certainly something that I've been through, right? Where we've been through unmentionable things, right? And then we wear that as if it is a badge of honor. And it's not that we shouldn't rewrite that to make sense to us or what we need to do to heal that. What I mean is, like, that is our name tag. So we're going into a room of new people and we're introducing ourselves as our trauma. We're not hiding from our trauma. But if we're sharing that as if it is, something that maybe should be discussed at first discussion with somebody, it's a sure sign that we're in this state of licking our wounds rather than truly healing in the ways that we need to. It's not a blame or shame judgment. Like I said, I've certainly been through it and am human and, go through my cycles too. I have a wonderful therapist, and I highly recommend that too, to have somebody in your life to help you identify these things, right? Like I said, I have that mentorship open too, if you're interested. Waterproof. So with waterproof coming through, this is a need, 2611 on the timer. 611 is my number for being on the right track. This is a need to not allow the emotions to affect us, as in like shutting us down. This can be with somebody else. It could be with our own emotions. To have some grit, to learn some grit. Again, we're not ignoring the shadow. We're not dismissing it. We're not dismissing our own traumas or pains. But the reality, because I feel this is important to be frank, the reality is that nobody can heal that for us except for us. And no matter how much we talk about that to random people, excluding a therapist, okay? Highly recommend talking to a therapist about our traumas. But no matter how much we broadcast that, that's never going to heal what it is that we need to heal. Maybe this is what you need. For me, it was learning that I need to give myself the attention and validation that I need first. I was reaching out to everybody else to have them validate what had gone on in my life when I was not validating it myself. Because, I was gaslit my whole life and taught not to. A lot of us are in some interesting situations. And that's not a reason to not allow ourselves to learn something new. So what's feeling new here is the skill of healing through trauma, you guys. This starts with really firmly seating ourselves in the heart, not the mind. Because the mind or the ego is going to continue to run around that track. A few times been around that track, it's not just going to happen like that, right? This shit is bananas. If we stay there, it's going to continue to become a dizzying mess. What else here on waterproof, please? Ooh, justice. Do you want these two? Later, okay. Justice comes through. How did that? Oh, I just flipped it around. The Emperor. Emperor here on the bottom too. Our personal power. So we are talking about reclaiming our personal power. When we do something like this, and again, no blame or shame. No blame or shame, honey. I would be condemning parts of myself, right? If I were extending that energy, and I'm not interested in that. We need to take our power back when we're doing things like that, where we're sharing traumas in that way, especially when we're not in a healed state. We are giving our power away to other people. Essentially, we're bringing up a very tender and sensitive part of ourselves and extending it to somebody else, whether we know them or don't, and going, am I enough? Am I acceptable? Oh, that makes me emotional. And that's not what we're doing. Not today. We need to learn how to look at those components and say that to ourselves. I am enough. Yes, I am acceptable. Yes, I do deserve to be here. Yes, I do deserve to take up space. And along the lines of this message of getting into the work, we're not falling back, leading from behind there, and letting our stories lead us. That makes so much more sense now. Oh, I love that, you guys. I have a few more cards here to pull, but I am gonna go into an extended dive into this deeper, just to let you know. Links will be in the description of this video. They are for sale individually as well as on the 3rd tier of membership. Both links are in the description of this video, okay? So instead of letting our stories lead for us, we're letting ourselves lead. What does this look like? Well, we don't always know. With this earthworm energy, it's new. It's that wave that has not quite hit us yet. We have to be open to receiving that. Ooh, got all the chills on that. With justice coming through, this is a balancing effect. You can look at this as karma, right? Cause and effect. And this isn't drama karma, okay? Karma's a bitch, blah, 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 right? When we project that kind of emotion onto karma, that does tend to bring more of that emotional situation back to us. Cause and effect. Every cause has an effect. Every effect has a cause. You kick a wall, now there's a hole in the wall, and you have a pain in your foot. This is cause and effect. When we're talking about trauma, yes, there is a balancing effect of energies that happen between very traumatic things. But if we're in a situation where we're holding on, thinking there is some form of justice or that's going to get balanced out with this individual, I'm here to tell you right now, you're in the wrong frame of mind. You're in the mind. And what you're being asked to do here is move to the heart. That is never going to accelerate anything except for more pain back to you. I promise you. Personal experience. Promise. And I love you. I'm not trying to be a dick. This is truth. This is truth. What else do we have here with this message, please, Spirit? Ooh, oh, I love this. Judgment, 7 of Wands. We're there waiting in the wings. It is time for a resurrection here, you guys. We are being asked to examine where it is we have been behaving from to move to something new. The 7 of Wands here, this can be a very defensive behavior too, holding our position on the hill. There's a high note of grounding to this card as well. We're being asked to ground, to anchor in, okay? Maybe we need to dock the ship here for a little bit to get more supplies, okay? There's a trek coming. With the 7 of Wands, though, I like to say these wands that are pointed at this individual, we can see that as an attack. And sometimes, maybe it is. But if we expand out a little bit, we can actually see that, oh, these are shish kebabs with our favorite, I don't know, fruits, vegetables, or meats on here that are being offered by people around us. But because we're coming from a space of the trauma, operating out of trauma, licking our wounds, we're seeing anything that's pointy as an attack, right? Well, maybe not everything that is pointy is an attack. Sometimes it's an offer for nourishment. We can only really decipher this if we are centered enough, though, to see what is truly in front of us. With judgment coming through here, it feels like there is something that needs to be released. We're hearing that call with the message with Obadiah. We're hearing that call. It's our job right now to heed that call, to take the right path, okay? All right, I'm going to pull a Medicine Heart Oracle here, and then I'm going to go into the extended. All right, last piece of this message here, please, Spirit. I love this. This is a good one. I know there's maybe a little bit more tough love in here, but I love you guys. And it's the same kind of love I've given to myself, and it's been a little hard sometimes. But it's been worth it. Ooh, I love that imagery of them meditating there. Perfect. Mater Materia Medica. So I'm going to read this here. What is desired and needed is spontaneously arising in your world even now. Connect with your heart to realize this. You bundle the Mater Materia Medica as you intentionally and magnetically gather to you that which nourishes, protects, and empowers you in claiming your most sacred fruition. Relax into your trustworthy bond with Earth Mother as she generously provides opportunities for inspired manifestation. Trust your process. I love that. I love that nourishment was in here, and I literally just said that. It feels like whatever is coming around right now, there are things that can be an attack. I'm not obtuse, and I'm not saying that doesn't exist. But anytime that we think something is all one way or all another way, or there are broad brushstrokes, that is a clear indication that we're in the wrong place. We need to move out of that space, because all or nothings don't exist unless we're talking about change. Okay? There's something that is around you right now that you're being asked to trust, and this can only be identified when you slip into the heart. Okay. I love you guys. I'm gonna move into the extended. If you want to join me there, lovely. If this is where we part, it was great to see you. Please take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Be well.